Hello, all. Welcome to a very special episode where poetry becomes the voice for everything that's left unspoken. I'm your host, Garima Jain, and today we have with us Dr. P.Y. Emmanuel, an educator, a psychotherapist, a poet, and a quiet force of compassion in today's noisy world. Today we'll be discussing about this book, The Sky of Silent Tears. It is not just a random collection of poems, it is a healing companion for silent aches, hidden wounds, and every little soul who is searching for some light in the darkness. Today, we'll be asking him what inspired him to write these and what this book has to offer to you. If you're someone whose silence weighs much more than your words, and if you believe in the power of soft kindness, then this is where exactly you need to be. Dr. Emmanuel, it is such an honor to have you with us today here. Before we begin this podcast, would you like to share anything with the listeners about the journey behind this book?
So the Sky of Silent Tears was written to find the purpose for the pain. So actually, it was recently written. Recently, one of a famous Kannada poet, H.S. Venkatesh Murthy, passed away. So on his death ceremony, after that, when I had been invited to speak about him, that time I just found a word which he quoted in Kannada. Novillada jagavilla, noyedava kaviyalla, novu harivu. That means there is no universe without pain, and pain is knowledge. So the pain, the knowledge, this book is from the pain. So that turned into a knowledge. And what I just wanted to bring out was the purpose for the pain which somebody suffers so silently. That is why even though the sky cries silent, but still it shines. That is the output of this book.
Yes, absolutely. So I had read this book entirely, and it has 50 poems in total.
Yeah.
And I really found the book very interesting. So I found that some poems had a lot of nature in it. So some had roots, some had sun, sky, earth. So why do you always add an element of nature in your poems?
So usually we are connected with the nature. Our life begins from the nature and ends within the nature. That is like everybody known. So whenever we think like we are suffering, it is not only we have to look around us. There are so many elements, as you said, a root or tree, sun, moon, stars. So I always think in that way. Though we appreciate the beauty of that, even there is a pain or there is something, a dark side, that elements also go through. So when we look at that, obviously we may get some motivation so that we may come out of that pain or something. That is why I always get into this other side of the universe. We learn from the nature.
Absolutely agreed. So basically, we always romanticize nature that, oh my God, it's so beautiful, it's so pretty, but nobody looks at the painful side of it. So I think you've beautifully, taken care of those points, especially about the pain. And how that's connected with us.
That is how. Like we always think about the beauty of the nature, but we don't see how did that beauty come to life.
Yes.
So if we need a new leaf or a flower, that must lose and dry. So that is how I just connected to that, to just give a hope for the people.
That's absolutely incredible. So I read a few poems and I really loved a few of them. So I would like to read a few lines and I would like to ask some questions about those.
Sure.
So the first one, Beauty in Ashes. They thought it was over, but they couldn't realize the roots were growing deep. They thought it was empty, but they couldn't realize it was full of unseen strength. They thought it was ashes, but they couldn't realize it was sacred ground for rebirth. It just touches here. So my question is, this is one of the most powerful metaphors you've used in this book, right? So when did you feel like ash and when did you just come out of that?
That is what the recent few developments led for me to rethink about my journey. From past few years, I've been writing books, and some issues made like, okay, let me stop all these things. But then I understood this is not the purpose of my life. So when somebody comes and tells like, no, this is the end, that's all, they can't do anything. So they may see it as an ashes, but I saw it as a sacred thing. So that is why this beauty in ashes, though people around us may think to make us ash, but we have to become a sacred ash. And that is what is the entire poem about, beauty in ashes. So when what the other people couldn't see, I have seen that.
Yeah. And the second thing is, why do you think transformation often begins with destruction and suffering?
Of course, everybody in their life go through a phase of time where they may lose hope in hope themselves or in the society. Our society is made up like that. So as we all know that failure is a stepping stone of success. So if I failed today, then tomorrow I will know how to make it correct. So in my first book, Rise and Shine, also I've written Thomas Alva Edison, when he invented bulb, he failed many times, but he didn't give up. So every success comes from failure or pain. That is what I said. We have to make pain into purpose. That is what this book is.
I am also reminded of two other very great people. J.K. Rowling, who wrote Harry Potter,
yes.
she was rejected so many times, right? Like she was rejected at least 8, 10 times. And she came from she had a very sad story in her life. And then finally, when she started her book, she went viral for all the right reasons. And then she had books as well. And then Abraham Lincoln as well. Because he has failed so many times and so many posts and directly became finally became the president of the US. So I think it is not I failed. It is basically I tried so many times and then I succeeded.
Yes.
It's a beautiful example. Thank you so much. The next thing I would like to ask you is, if tears could speak from the poem, it is so beautiful because most of the times you're not able to, express our pain. And I think you've captured this beautifully. And this line, many feelings were kept inside with no words just said, just quiet nights. Trust was broken, kindness hurt. Though everything was done so right, the truth would come out if tears could speak. Oh my God. So many of your poems have misunderstood intentions and invisible pain. So what would be your advice to those who feel unseen and unheard?
So most of the time, we always know a saying that silence speaks louder than words. But as of like if it is in my context, I can tell tears speaks louder than words. Tears are most valuable thing in our life. Usually we don't cry for everything and everybody. If tears comes out, that must be very much valuable. I, being a teacher, I tell my students so many times, your tears are very valuable. Don't waste it on a valueless person. But valueless person will never ask our tears. For one whom we give more value, they make us cry. But again, I feel sometimes most of the misunderstandings are caused by somebody else, not by ourselves. So every bond breaks when new bond creates. And that is what, like, what I cannot tell. Sometimes we choose silence, thinking that it's okay. There is no question of answering, or there is no question of clarifying or something. That is what I thought. Like, when tears flow, it speaks so many things which our words couldn't speak. That is what tears will speak. If tears could speak, that person could understand, oh, what did I do? It's always like we have to reflect ourselves. That is very much important thing. So tears are valuable and we must use it for valuable people.
So what would be your advice to those who feel unseen and unheard in giving kindness? So for example, I'm a very kind person and I'm very kind to everybody, but I feel really unheard and unloved sometimes. What advice would you give to those?
That is what the tree which takes care of everybody will never be taken care. So what I felt in life is, if you're kind, if you're good, or if you really help others, people will see you like a god. Oh, you're like a god. Thank you for helping us. But can anybody help God?
No.
We have to just come up to, yes, but God will help the person, because whatever good we do, for sure that will come back one day. For the people who are suffering like this, one advice is just give it in the hands of God if you believe, or if you don't believe God, give it to the hands of nature. Time heals everything, or time mends everything.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Another poem which I absolutely loved is The Purpose of Life. I think I would love to read the entire poem, but I would love to keep it as a suspense as well. So I'll read only one part of it. Not in falling, but in rising strong. Not in silence, but in song. Not in the weight that pulls us low, but in the strength to let it go. That is the purpose of life. So, what do you think should be the core purpose of someone's life who is struggling?
So the purpose of our life should be seen in a way what we go through. Most of the times when we face some hard times or hindrances or hurdles, we give it as an reason so that, okay, I can't do that. Most of the times I say always hindrances and hurdles should become an opportunities for our success. It should not become a reason for our failure. So whenever we go through something, let us think, what can I learn from this? Though it gives pain, though it gives heartbreak, but again from that, that is what this line says, not in falling, but in rising strong, not in silence, but in song, not in weight that pulls us low, but in the strength to let it go. Sometimes we have to let go few things from ourselves so that we can achieve some more better things ahead. So the purpose of life is to find a purpose in the pain. That is what. Then obviously we will rise again. And everyone will rise back once if they fall. But we have to rise back strongly.
Yeah, resilience is very
Yes.
important. A very personal question to ask. In your own journey, has your purpose changed with time, age, and experience?
Yeah, from a long time since childhood and other phases of my life, it has changed. The purpose of my life has, but the sole purpose of my life, I always think, is to uh, learn every day. I will learn every day from everything. So there are so many lessons I learned, not only from the books, but also from the outside. Not only teaching, but also learning has become a purpose of my life.
Absolutely agreed. So, when you teach a lot of kids, you also get so many different perspectives and you
Yes.
try to learn every single day, right? Also, there's this one very different question. I also write. I also am a poet. Okay, wait, again. So, I also write poetry and I also journal a lot. Do you journal?
Yeah, I write. I journal my day to day things, and that has become an habit from a very long time.
Yeah. So I also journal a lot. I also write poetry, but I'm never able to post all of them. So how do you choose or categorize what goes in your journal and what goes in your book? How do you define it? How do you categorize
But
it?
honestly, till now, I have not taken anything from my journal for book.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So whenever I write a book, usually it takes some time. This The Sky of Silent Tears was written within a week. It took me 1 week because I had a very tight schedule in the morning time. I always write at the night time alone. So what makes me to write is I just look at something and I connect it. So most of this book is connected. One among the poem, like a lonely dove. I was just sitting outside my house and looking at the sky because I'm more connected to the sky.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
And there comes a dove, sits alone, and it was just sitting and flied away. So immediately I wrote a lonely dove. So like that. But my experience also makes to connect. Otherwise, we cannot write.
Right,
The personal experience which I have gone through, which I have heard, being a psychotherapist or a counselor, I get so many people who come and share their emotions. I have cried with one whom I should cry. I have laughed with the one who I have to laugh. So this all made me into a thing like I can easily get connected
Connected, yeah.
with a person who is in pain.
That's so beautiful to be able to connect with someone who is in pain. And that is the purpose of life. I
Yes.
think somewhere around that is the purpose of life.
Purpose of life.
And the next poem, which I want to ask you about, is again tears, because tears, pain, they are so connected to
Yes.
each other, right? So, uh, this last paragraph, right? The last stanza, they are not marks of shame, nor symbols of weakness or fear. They rise from strength within, the courage to release what's dear. Tears will tear. Absolutely deep. It hurts. It reaches the point, right? So you reframed tears as symbols of strength, not weakness. Why do you think society still associates crying with vulnerability and failure?
That is the thing. Like how we laugh or like any other emotions, tears is also emotion. As I said earlier, tears will not come simply. But people judge if somebody cries, especially if a man cry, they like why he's crying and
Yes, we
he weak and something.
coward.
So that is not. As per my knowledge, tears are not weakness. It's a strength. That is what, like, it comes from inside. So there is no shame in crying, or there is no shame in letting out our tears to go. And that is the purpose thing. When we go through some pain or something, we not only cry when we are sad, we also cry when we are happy.
Yes.
Happy tears also will come out. So tears is not a symbol of shame or failure. It is a symbol of strength and to overcome the pain. That is what tears will tear. Actually, this tear will tear, and if tears could speak, have touched so many people. 1 week over, the book is released, and I got 2 to 3 mails. And one mail, father had written about his experience, telling that my daughter married somebody and went away. She went away, but we couldn't accept that. After she going, I went through so much of pain which we couldn't express. Being a father, being a male, old person, he says, I couldn't express my feeling to anybody. But when I read your book, that brought out the pain what I was holding inside. So that was like somewhat a great review for me. I felt like, yes, that is why I have written this book. This will become a voice for so many who couldn't bring out their emotions. Most of them will not cry in front of everybody. They go through the alone time. But that tears are very pure thing in the world. Like how rain is so pure form of water. So tears are also very pure. We have to, like as I said earlier, it won't come for the people who are valueless. But I also tell to everyone, please don't make the person who give you love, who give you life, who give you care and everything, in return, don't take their tears also. Let them cry happily, but not for
give them happy tears, not sad
tears.
Yeah.
That is important.
I also, get what you're telling about tears, and it's so pure, right? They don't fall for nothing, only for hearts that feel too
Yes.
deep. So it's such a deep thing. They speak when words are gone, when silence begins to weep. Tears will be tears. Has poetry been a way for you to let your tears speak in silence?
Of course. That is what this book, the entire book is how my silence spoke. That is so true. I always believe that what we cannot express in words, poetry does that. Writing is having that value. That is why great writers, William Shakespeare or William Blake or somebody, even Rabindranath Tagore, Ruskin Bond, I always get connected to books so easily. Whenever I am in a pain or something, I just go take some book and read, and so direct it will connect. So one who reads book can feel this thing.
Do you want to suggest the listeners? I mean, why are they not reading books? The number of viewership has decreased so much these days. Why do people not read books?
Thing is, like now everything is in digital India, digital thing. But I always feel this physical thing is more valuable than digital.
Absolutely.
This feel we won't get while reading in mobile. I never read it in mobile phone or any digital platforms. I buy book and read. And reading has become reducing because most of the people are just into this social media or something. They spend a lot of time by wasting their time. I tell so many people, even among my students, that is why I always tell them read. Because there's a quote that says, today's reader is tomorrow's leader.
Yes.
So if I read, I couldn't become an author without reading. I have read so many books. My favorite genre will be like autobiographies, biographies, motivational books. And that has shaped me. And nowadays, youngsters should, like we teachers and parents should start, bringing them the idea of what this happiness of reading can give. So instead of buying some great gifts, we can gift books for each other.
Yeah.
And I always do that. Anybody whom I meet or anybody comes and meet me, I'll give them one book, one plant.
Thank you so much. I'm taking this book.
For sure.
I absolutely love the poems, and I think I'll keep it very dear to me, very close to me. Because books are a way of connecting to
Yes.
people without meeting them in person, without talking to them. You can actually talk to them through your words. And I think that's the beauty of
Book
poetry,
video.
right?
We just go back to those time when we are reading. Though I have traveled like that so many times. There is one poem which I can remember, Imagination. Somebody writes in that, he goes through he travels the entire world through his book.
Yes.
And so that is obviously true.
The next one, absolutely good source of joy. I feel like reading the entire, but the second stanza is really what caught my attention. When you face fear and do not run, you'll see how much you have truly won. When you say no to things not right, you build a heart that shines so bright. Each battle fought, each test you pass will give you strength that's made to last. Bravery is a source of joy. Good. I mean, how do you write so well? What is the inspiration behind this poem?
A source of joy. We find joy, like we need a source to find joy. Usually, these days, people find joy in listening music or find joy in
Parties.
parties. So many things
Yeah.
they go through. But the real source of joy is few things which we will never even think about. That is what in each stanza it's different. As per your thing, bravery is a source of joy. We must be brave enough to face the life. Sometimes when life gets difficult, we feel like, no, let's stop. That is why so many people die. But I always think it's an act of cowardness. Like, bravery is to face the life bold. I always think nothing will come beyond the limit or beyond our strength. There is always think God is there to save us. And in this poem, as I written, each battle fought, each test you pass will give you strength. So each day, each hurdle or each pain or each thing what we go through, which negatively impact on us, for sure will have a positive impact in later. Yeah. So today, no, there's a saying like every day is not Monday. So, but Monday comes always. Like that, bravery. We must be brave enough to face the difficulties as we face the happiness. Today, people are very happy or very much easy, brave to face positive things. But when it comes for negativity or if it comes for some failure, they can't. They're scared. But the real strength grows when they face that thing. So we must face life bravely, whatever it might come. We should never give up.
I think I'm also reminded of my dad's quote. So, not a quote basically, but whenever I go somewhere, I tell my dad, please help me, please guide me. He's like, you go and do it yourself. Like, you go and experience it.
Yes.
Only then you will learn it. So, if I'm very dependent on anybody, then nothing was going to come easily, right? So, he tells me to, go and experience whatever it is, whether it is bad or good. First, experience it. It will help you in other experiences and later in life. So, you've seen kids who are very dependent on parents. They are not able to do a lot in life because they don't know what obstacles are, what problems are in life. And then it becomes very difficult later on.
Nowadays, parents are too much pampering the
Helicopter. It's called helicopter parenting.
yes.
Yeah.
So that will never help the kids, as per my knowledge, because the parent or the teacher must have the knowledge about where to hold and where to leave.
Yeah.
So it's like not giving them full independence and not making them fully dependent.
Yeah.
That knowledge, if parents have and teachers have, then obviously the child will grow into a very great things. Today we will get so many students or children who get rank in their academics, but they can't face the world so boldly. That is like very much difficult. So parents as well as teachers must think about this, like how you said, where to leave or where to hold, how much freedom is important. And even the children's nowadays should not become like, as per my knowledge or whatever I see, they're like, we must be independent. I'm talking about the young kids, teen children. They need the guidance actually. Once they are grown up, obviously life teaches us. I always tell, when we may not listen for what our parents will tell, we may not listen for what our teachers will tell or elders will tell, but when life teaches, you don't have other option. You must listen.
Okay, agreed. And then another thing, so obviously, so you told guidance is needed, But sometimes, teens also feel that they are too intrusive sometimes. They need their own privacy. What is your thought on it? What is your
I don't think so. The privacy is required at this time because our parents or that before 5-10 years generation did not have this word called as privacy and all. Nowadays, the children are like, we need privacy. Sometimes that privacy leads to so many problems. As a teacher and as a counselor and a speaker, I have witnessed so many people coming to me with so many complaints also. So privacy must be in one level. And I don't think that a teen need that much privacy because they need some guidance. Alone the kid cannot do anything. I'm not telling they control them. Most of the kids nowadays will misunderstand the care into controlling. But why they're caring so much or why are they guiding so much, they should understand, because without that they have experience. My parents have more experience than me. So they walked the life. Might be not the same what we have come through. But I think this is just, these days knowledge is not a knowledge what they had. Obviously, today everything is in the fingertip. Olden days people are truly one who is having more knowledge. But nowadays, having everything in fingertips. Earlier, when I used to study, when I did activities or projects, we go directly to libraries, bring books and do. Now Google and recently AI. So creative thinking is lost. And most of the students or the children who ask for privacy, I don't think so that for a good purpose.
okay? Might make sense. Okay. The next poem. It's priceless. This is the meaning of life. Okay. You have emphasized a lot of pain and healing in the entire book.
Yes.
But this really catches my attention mainly because of generosity and gratitude. I believe a lot in giving gratitude and feeling grateful for everything that we have received, right? Our parents, our house, our friends, our education, everything. We should be grateful for everything. But this is really good. So I'll just give it a read. We all receive, and that feels good. But give as often as you could. A little help, a kind reply can lift someone who's passing by. You plant a seed each time you care, and blessings grow from what you share. Giving, it's priceless. I listen to a podcast every single night, a video every night, and it says, मैं देने वाली आत्मा हूँ. So I am a giving soul.
Yes.
I'm a giving soul. So I relate to this. Yes. What is your opinion on this?
That is the right thing. I always feel like it's blessings to give than to receive. So we all receive. That feels good. But when we receive, we must also give. As you said, gratitude. That gratefulness for what we have received. Because these days it's not so easy to find people with kind heart who help others. And most of the times, as I said, we take the one who helps as granted.
Taken as
Anyhow, he is there. Most of us or most of these kids will never appreciate or will never think about parents. They tell it's their responsibility. A teacher, yes, they're being paid, so they're teaching. But beyond that, there is something which we get from them. So whatever is there in life, a small kind reply, thank you, is a very great thing. So we use, I have seen people using thank you for silly reasons, but they don't use when they really need to use. Every day morning, nobody will tell thank you for a mother who gives breakfast. Or every day we won't tell thank you for so many things. We think it's like going on. But when we lose that thank you or sorry will have a great
Value.
impact and value in our life. So I always tell, let it be a small thing, one glass of water. We must be
you.
grateful for what we have got. And that's a very great thing. Gratefulness is required. So, and giving is priceless. Some people will tell, if you give too much, people will not know the value. No problem. God will know the value.
What is the most valuable, priceless moment you've witnessed while giving something without expecting anything in return?
That was recently my book along with my students, Spurtiya Honalu, was released in the month of December. And after that book release, that three kids also got an award along with me. I was just standing beside them, they taking the award. I cannot take full credit that it's because of me, but I was the one who identified that thing, and that kids write so well. I will tell you, I have taken so many awards in so many big stages, but that day, that was a priceless moment for me. Standing beside and seeing my kids. I always call my students as kids only. So they getting that award was a priceless moment for me.
It feels so good when you teach something and then they give it back to you. So
That's like really priceless.
and what do you think? What is the role of small acts of kindness when, for example, I'm struggling, I'm in pain, and what will small acts of kindness help in my life?
So most of the times, than helping hands, we need listening ears. And when somebody is in pain, I know that they are in pain. You just go sit with them and listen without judging. That is the biggest thing what we can do. And they tell, like, and another saying I remember now, praying, helping hands are more than praying lips or something. I'm not sure about that. But so if I cannot give anything materialistic, I can give something as emotional strength, a hope, and that is for sure. And I'll tell you, if somebody is in pain, you just go sit beside them and tell, I am with you. And that's the best thing. But most of the time, one who causes the pain will never understand what the other person have gone through. They always think if I go, the pain will increase. No, one sorry can change so many things. And that is where we have to be, thoughtful about how to interact with the people. So one word or one just sitting beside them, one hug or one hand can help the people.
Hugs are so underrated. People hesitate a lot to hug these days. What if she feels bad? What if? But then I think, I have read in some report also, I think hugs can, reduce a lot of stress in you. So it reduces a lot of stress.
And because of being grown in some orthodox families and that mindset, we may feel like that. But I always tell, if heart is pure, there is nothing wrong in that.
Yeah.
I like it gives more happiness. That is what I tell. Some people, we may have thousands around us. 1,000 people will be around us. But one person, if they just come and stand there, that will change everything. And that one person should not take that for granted. And they should understand, yes, my purpose at that minute. That is why I always help people. No big, small, anything. I always think for us, sometimes 30 rupees is not a big deal. You just go and give that 30 rupees for some old person. They'll have 3 times food. And that is the value of that.
Mm. Okay. Coming to the last poem. Don't believe your love was lost. Don't believe your love was lost. Every gift comes at a cost. What you give returns someday in its own gentle, quiet way in the universe of love. The entire poem is just, but I will ask you one question. Do you believe more in karmic love or emotional echoes?
Like similarly, karmic love also, karmic love, because anything we do, for every action, there is always an equal and opposite reaction. We know the third law of Newton. So it's not only that, it happens in our day-to-day life. Selfless giving is very important because William Shakespeare says, love born out of profit motive is no love. Sometimes people express love because they expect something. And expectation will always hurt. So accepting the things without expecting is more important.
This is a tongue twister. Can you repeat it so that we don't get confused?
Accepting without expecting is like, you will not have any problem there.
Yes. Accepting without expecting is the key.
Yes.
Okay, so there was this quote by Zendaya, I think. She told, expect disappointment and you will never be disappointed.
That is also true.
Yeah, so you will never be disappointed.
And most of the times we are like, cause of pain is expectation. And that expectation will hurt a lot. That is why I always tell, accept this is the thing, then you will not have any pain. And even in this universe of love, that is what I just wanted to write. The universe of love. How is the universe of love? What is this love actually? I always say love is so pure thing in the world. And when we do something, it's a human's nature that we can expect something in return. But again, that must not be the major reason, or that is like because we need it back only should not be the reason. Give selflessly, so one day that will come back to you, because no deed of good or bad will go away like that. If you are doing good, good will come back. If you're doing bad, obviously that will come back. As you said, that karma is naturally is there, and what we sow, we will reap that. And like love is not lost. Love is something I said very pure. And when you give love somebody, it's not only about partners or something. Even the parents love, or the friends, siblings, animals love. As a teacher, I can tell my students love.
Students, yeah.
So any love which is given will never go waste. They may not understand it, but we must also think that love made some change in somebody's life. Of course, any love which you give will never go out of purpose.
So it never goes away. I think universe is so beautiful in its own way. It comes back around in some or the other way. Yes. So, the party where you said what you give returns someday, somehow it will come back in its own gentle, quiet way. So, for example, I'm loving some person A. He might not, A might not reciprocate. But, I'll realize suddenly somebody is showering love on me. So, somebody is very, very, happy to in my success. And somebody's happy for me, I will not realize that could be because of that,
But the biggest mistake or biggest thing what I found or what I see is people will never value that love which is being showered on us, because we are always expecting from somebody who don't even react.
Love and they don't love, yeah. So I think it's very necessary to just sit and realize how blessed we are, right?
Who truly values you and loves you is very important. Most of the time, there is a great saying like we lose for diamond we lost, for gold we lost diamond.
Yeah,
it's obvious. Sometimes we give love or care or something for somebody and we expect it in return, but there is someone who are not even expecting anything from us but giving us love. So we must learn to value that. And that is also, as I have said, might be the one act which we did long ago has come back to us.
I think this book can change your life. I think this book, The Sky of Silent Tears, has the potential. If you just sit back and read it, at least for an hour. I mean, fast reading won't help you. Yeah. You will have to read it and understand what's in there. So, I think just read this. Go read this. Where do you get this? Where can you buy this?
As of now, like Aksharanada publication has published this book, and if you can contact the number, you'll get the
book. The number is here.
And even my number is also there, and they can directly contact me. At the last of this book, in the page 66, I've given, if you are, you can contact me anytime, whether to talk, to share, or simply to be heard, like that. Why did I write that? I felt just not only writing, let the people connect to me, and that connections are happening. Yesterday, I got a call from a girl, from an unknown person. Started crying, telling that, sir, I have read your book and that's so nice. A few poems have really touched my heart. I said, thank you so much. And she said, I had a misunderstanding with my friend. From past 1.5 years, we are not talking. We are so best friends. But later on, due to some reasons, we couldn't talk. Most of them will talk about this breakup in a different way. But I tell, even friends breakup is also a breakup.
Yeah, it hurts a lot.
It hurts. And after reading your book, I understood my mistake and I called and spoke to her. And that was like something so happy for me. This book is serving the purpose. So always let us learn to appreciate the people for what they do, small or great, anything.
I think that makes you, because the way you've written this book completely has made me understood why you are a great teacher, How did you start? When did you think that you want to be a teacher?
Teaching is our family heredity, I feel, because my grandma was a teacher, my mom is a teacher, my aunt is a teacher,
You come from a
a
family
family
of
of a
teachers.
teacher.
Okay.
And obviously, teaching is my passion. I love teaching. Somehow, accidentally or fate, I become a teacher, but I really enjoy teaching.
And I've also read it. You're a psychotherapist. What does it mean to be a psychotherapist and what do you do?
Actually, I have done my psychology in BA and later on my post graduation and some diploma courses just to heal the people through some psychological therapies and all. That was mainly learned to help my students only. If somebody is going through something, I can give them counseling or guide them through some therapy and all.
What impact have your students had on you or you had on your students while writing books? So as a writer, what is the relationship of you and your students on the book
So
or on the work that you have done?
students played a major role in my life or career. I always call them as my kids only. So if somebody asks me how many, I'm not married yet, but if somebody asks me how many children or something, I always tell I have 800 plus students, because passed out students are nearly 300 to 400, and one who are studying with me are in number of hundreds. And that students are that kids have made a great impact on me. I spend most of my time with them from morning till evening, and each student will have a different impact on me. Among that, as I said earlier, only their life and my life are
Interconnected.
interconnected. So in this book, Sky of Silent Tears, again that pain is there. The hardest part for any teacher will be that year end, especially for 10th standard. We see them from very small children and grow and come, and that comes a day called as farewell, and they leave. Obviously they have to move forward, but everybody will think it differently. I tell you, it's a very difficult thing to handle as a teacher.
You know what? I thought teachers would be so happy that we are just leaving the school.
No, actually, the thing is we will not be able to show our emotions because we will be tensed. Exams are there. If we show emotion, that would impact on them. But behind the scenes, we would have been cried a lot. I don't know about every teacher will have for sure. Otherwise, they can't teach. Students judge teacher thinking like they only scold, they only beat or something
so
like
strict,
that.
yeah.
Strict. But behind the strict, there is also a love. And that love is very important. Obviously, I will cry in front of student. I'm so sensitive and emotional. And that part, especially recent batch who left, had a great impact on me. And that was also a reason I think I have written The Sky of Silent Tears. And that is how. But we will feel happy that they go out and grow. They must move forward. I always tell my students, they come and tell me, sir, we are very much inspired by you, these and all. But I tell, my real achievement is when you achieve more than me. If that they do, that's enough.
I think teachers are second parents, right?
Of course.
Because they are more happy when the kids achieve more than what they have achieved. So I think I miss my teachers now. I think I hope they also miss me.
Of course, all the teachers. As you said, it's more like a parent and student, children bonding. And I always tell, I've said this in so many places, a bond between a teacher and student is so sacred. Sometimes we play the role of parents. Sometimes we play the role of siblings. Sometimes we play the role of friends.
Yeah.
And nowadays we are friends. And in all that thing, I'll tell you something. Than parents, teacher will be knowing the more about the student.
Yeah.
So that is why sometimes students will also try to take some gap or something. They know about me.
Yeah.
But we won't judge. We know any beautiful thing must come with a difficult path. They must go through all plus and minus. Then only they can come up in life.
You also mentioned you co-authored a book with your students. Would you like to tell more about that?
That book, Spurtiya Vanalu, one of my favorite book. And recently that got placed in National Book of Records as
Congratulations.
as the first documented poetry written by a student and teacher. 3 students, Anushri, Shubha and Sneha. Shubha, Sneha were now their second PUC, Anushri's first PUC. And as per your thing, like recently, Children Literary Fest was also held in Akka Mahadevi Sabangana, where Anushri presided over that entire program.
Wow.
So these three kids started writing. Usually this happens in classroom. I always take motivational classes. I always believe than teaching what is in textbook, we must teach what the life is. That is very important. Textbook will give marks, but that won't give life lessons. So I always tell, and I don't know how they got inspired. They had written that journey is something which is unsaid. I always think it's like pre-planned. So that three kids also did very well. Among that, Anushri, I can tell, like, God's child. I really had that. I have so many students in my life. Among everybody, each one is different. Each one is having one or the other way. Today, my birthdays or teacher's day or some special day will not end up without that hundreds of messages. I do read all the message. Every year that will increase, and that will really give some sort of satisfaction. So among everybody, Shubha, she writes very well. Sneha also writes very well. Anushri, she also writes very well. And I said that emotional bond between me and that kid, it's like more than a father and a daughter. I really felt that when I took that Spurti Honalu first time in my hand, that kid was right beside me. Other two were far, means they were in college, and that child was 10th standard. When I took that, and that gave me that feeling. That's why I always call, might be now they are in college studying and everything, my child, God's child, and all children are a thing. So literally, another more connection is they write as I write. So that is like greatest achievement of my life, I may feel back.
Also, related to this, when you spoke about the student, child, parent relationship, would you want to comment on the student, parent, child relationship? How can they coordinate to make a student's life better? Because, previously the teaching methods used to be different. Now they are different. The relationship among these three is also different. What do you think should change these days?
A role model. Teacher and parents should be a role model. Preach, like, act what you preach. Today, most of the times, we only preach, but we won't act. And that's where these days kids will question. If I tell something you don't do, and if I do that, I don't have any moral right to ask, why did you do that? Today's parents can tell, like, you should not do that, you should not do this. Read books, and I'll sit using phone. And then how can, that is what, the first parents, teachers should become a role model for the children. Then obviously when I do something, see, I wrote book, my kids written. I did something they are doing. Then if I do good, they will do. If I do bad, they will do bad. Another one thing I would like to tell parents, please don't bring your misunderstandings among your problems. Obviously, every relationship have one or the other issue. And that must not impact the children's life. Most of the children will be affected. They will not show. The silent battles, what they go through, will never be seen outside. Might be the misunderstanding between mother and father. And here, both mother and father plays a very vital role. But we appreciate mother's role, but not father's role. Most of the time, the silent hero is a father. The society should understand that behind a family, I always tell, no man is so bad that he can abandon his children or something. We are brought up like that. You see, most of the times we would hear from mother or somebody or anybody, your father is like that, your father is like this, he will not understand, he will not. This mother-children relationship is so good because I have seen so many fathers who suffer a lot. They know they are doing wrong. Yeah, they can blame he is a drunkard or he will not take care. But behind it, there is a heart of a father who wants the children. And that children should be shown the real fact. Tell them the good work what the father does. Let father tell what good work mother does. Both mother and father sit and tell your father is like that, your mother is like that. How can you bring up a child?
They have to understand.
So parents should come up with this mentality. You set example. And as I said earlier, like freedom, dependence, too much of independence will not work out. Become friends in the sense, it is not like putting shoulder on shoulder and like, yes, yes, yes for everything. No. I'll tell always. Somebody can ask me, how can a teacher become a friend? How can a parent become a friend? How we judge a person? We judge them by with whom they are. Tell me your friends, I'll tell who you are. So if I and a parent become a friend, why will that kid go in a wrong way? So parents as well as teachers, society nowadays focus more into this rank. Everyone need all India rank. Everyone need rank. Nobody's bothered. Marks, marks, marks. It's like allow the child to develop what thing she's having. No, so many kids will have so many dreams, but finally they will wind up everything and like, no, I don't have other option. I have seen so many parents. Let them study first, sir. Along with that, they need some extra curricular knowledge. See, my kids are writing so beautifully. Some are dancing so beautifully. Some are singing so beautifully. Education is required. I'm not telling education is not required, but education is only not like everything so that you put away other things and study. That is not. Today, all who are educated are not having jobs.
Yeah.
That's the saddest part of our society.
So we can talk about unemployment also now. But
Of course, number of graduates coming out and number of settling in jobs, there is variety. I tell my students, you are spending lakhs together and end up in earning thousands.
yeah, only I think according to statistics, only 42% are employed.
Yes.
Others are shifting, and they're not even employed because of the skill set also. No.
And that is
the
the
proper
skills
skill
are
set.
not skill based education is not that. Like I'll tell you, if
Like
I as
rote learning.
if I tell as a teacher that someone might question me, but education has become a business.
Yes.
Rank, CET, NEET. People know that will not work out sometimes, but again they push. And middle class mindset. In prestigious colleges, only my daughter or son should study. All this should change. A change begins that Gandhi said, be the change what you want to see in others. So if one person changes, then obviously the change will begin. Let us give that kid a freedom to choose what they want to become.
Yes. The thing you said, don't give them too much freedom, but don't impose also what you want to
Yes.
do. So some parents, what they are not able to do in their life or in their time, they try to force it on their children that please, it was my dream, you finish it. Hi, you can, the kid can also have a different dream, right? So the kid has to have the freedom to dream.
Today, as per my knowledge, I always think our present parents' mentality will be like doctor or engineer. They don't see any other options at all. But there are so many other options.
Yeah, people have started changing actually.
Now recent days changes, I don't know, but that is their doctor, engineer. But fact is different. Fact is different. How many really it's a very good profession. But I tell there are other things. Even acting is a profession. Writing is a profession. Police, dancing,
singing.
law is that. Like we have forgotten so many professions exist only. They only come at the end after like, oh, this is not happening. So let me do this. But no, if a child is given a right option, if I do what I like, I'll do it most beautiful and best way. If I'm being forced to do something, output will not come. And again, we blame, I spent so much on your education. I did that. I did this. You didn't do. Did you ask that child what she wanted to do? That is the biggest question.
So I think that code also comes into picture now. Love what you do what you love.
Yes.
Only then you'll be happy, or else.
And the children also should understand the parents' point of view, like why they tell to do something. If it's possible, let them do. Along with that, let them also pursue their passion. Both are important. Like children should not go against the parents' will also. Let them make understand.
Sometimes you can make them understand.
That is important. Make them understand. And nowadays, parents will sure understand. They're not so abundant, like, yes, I should. No, nowadays, parents are like easy going. Make them understand, and along with your career, pursue your passion. Sometimes it's blessed to have passion and career together, same way.
Just like you. I think all of your careers are interrelated. You're a psychotherapist, you're a social worker, you have a trust where you give free health camps, free education. How do you sustain it all?
This Anubandha Charitable Trust is also a trust which was started by a teacher and a student.
Okay.
In the trust, I am only president. All other portfolios are my students.
Okay.
So Sandhya, she's a secretary. Shrishti, she's joint secretary. Shakti, treasurer, Sri Shant, Prajwal, they're coordinators, and Abhishek, my brother, is also coordinator. And entire trust I made it like student and a teacher. We have registered in a way that after my presidentship, it anyway it ends, there'll be an election to conduct the president. And why I choose student is student teacher that they're all my old students. They're now studying engineering and everything. That kids are really, I'm blessed to have them because they come and help me. It's not so easy to have these days kids and to come and stand again.
Nobody volunteers.
So they are coming always, they're helping. And my wish is that I said them, let's show the world what a teacher and students can do to the society. And that is the purpose of Anubandha Charitable Trust.
And I think you've received countless awards, like so many awards. I had the list and I was like, what? I'm meeting such a great person who has won so many awards. What is the award that is most dear to you?
The first, in 2023, I got state level APJ Abdul Kalam award. Abdul Kalam sir is a great inspiration for me. And when I got that award, I really felt so happy. And that was the award which I received as a chief guest of the program. That was the first time I was invited as a chief guest in a public program. And that is so dear to me. And recently, Yuvaratna Appu Prashasti, it's from Karnataka, Punit Rajkumar Award. And that is also so dear to me.
Wow. Having so many awards, being a teacher, being a educator, being a psychotherapist, being a social worker, how do you manage your balance? How do you balance your career? How do you balance your life?
It's all interconnected, as you already said. I give time for each thing differently. And my thing is like, if I have to do something, I will do it. And until I do that, I'll not go for a other thing. And with the help of my family, they are the backbone. And my students, I am able to do these things.
Good. I think this podcast is so dear to me because having similar interest in going with the same flow also means a lot. And so I'll try to tell this again. Go buy this book, The Sky of Silent Tears. And for the end, I have a short, small round, okay? It's like a rapid fire round, but you will get time to think. So the first question is, one book that changed your life completely?
It's a religious thing, like the Bible.
Okay.
Whenever I feel low or something, I pray and I read Bible. And that Bible had really changed my life. My other book is The Parables of Jesus Christ. It was my third English book, which was released 2 years ago. So Bible. And generally, I always read this biographies and autobiographies. The Wings of Fire, APJ Abdul Kalam's autobiography, that had really a great impact on me.
Okay, so what if I ask you a question? What would be the title of your autobiography if you wrote one?
I was just planning that from a very long time. Unknown Me.
Unknown Me. Okay, that's mysterious and interesting at the same time. Okay. Thus, the next question. What's one thing you think every student should hear at least once?
They must hear about the real struggle what the parents go through to fulfill their needs. They have to see and listen to that. Because most of them will not understand. They always think whatever they ask will come to them. But from where did it come?
The
sacrifices also should be.
I think they'll realize, I'll also realize when I become a parent. So
that is what.
Yeah. So I'll realize how important, how difficult it
But realizing it later will not have any thing. So I always tell some parents when they come and tell, sir, this much struggle is there, but we are not letting them. I said, let them know. Then only they will appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because we will not appreciate what we get for free of cost or without hard work.
Makes sense. What is the best thing a student ever said to you?
There are so many things and so many students who have come and said to me so many things. But one thing which made me more happy or satisfied was very long ago, I was sitting at my home, lying on my cot. One student came. He just came and started sitting near my leg. I was like, what happened? He said, sir, he was a very weak student, termed weak by everybody. He said, if I pass this exam, if I achieve something in life, it's not because of my parents or because of anybody. It's because of you. You made me what I am today. And he said one thing which deeply went
Touched
into
you.
me. That was like, if I don't do this, they will blame you. Who you are telling like, sir, always, what did he do to you? So I don't want that blame to come on you. And today he is working.
Wow, that's so great.
That is like great thing a student has said for me. And there are so many other things. General like compliment I get is like, you are an inspiration.
You are certainly an inspiration. I can also say that I am also, you're also a teacher for me now. Yeah. What gives you hope on your hardest days?
After every night, there comes a day.
And this too shall pass.
Pass.
Either it is happiness or sadness.
Everything will pass. It will not last long. I will always believe that. Darkness will not always stay. There comes light. And that is why I'm connected. If there is birth, there is death. If there is good, there is bad. So let's not get deep into this. But it's like very easy to tell sometimes. When we go through that, it will be difficult.
Very difficult. But yes, if you know it, if you're conscious about it, then it's easy.
Easy to
Comparatively easy.
overcome that.
Yeah. Okay, the last question. A habit every student should build.
I always tell, if you want success, 3 things are required. 3 S should be followed. One is self-discipline, self-confidence, and self-control.
Self-discipline, self-confidence,
Self-control. These 3 are a very important habit that every student should have. Why self-confidence? I always tell, if I don't believe in myself, how can I tell somebody else to believe me? I should be confident about my work. I should be confident about my writing. Now I have written this and somebody asked me, how is the book you read? And tell me, it's good you read. That is the confidence. And self-discipline. My life should be like this. This is the plan what I'm having. This is very important. Most of the time, self-discipline leads to success. So self-discipline is important. No matter what others will tell, what I believe or what is my lifestyle, that should not change. Self-control, that is very important.
And very difficult.
Very difficult. So if these 3, self-control in what you see, what you hear, what you do.
And what you eat.
That also.
What you read also.
Read also.
What you consume.
That is what this sense organs. We must be very much self-controlled towards our sense organs.
Yes.
What we see, what we hear, what we eat, what we touch. So if we are like that, then obviously success will follow.
Come running towards us.
Come.
Yes.
We need not to follow that.
Yeah, it will come to us. We are just...
Yes.
Okay. I think it was such a great podcast, and I think we have covered almost all the topics, and this book is really good, and I would love to take it.
For sure, you can take that.
Okay. And I really loved how there's so much optimism, there's so much humility, there's so much kindness in your life, in your book. And I'm truly inspired by it. So at the end of the podcast, I would just like to say that you're truly an inspiration. And we are really grateful to have you on this podcast.
Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. And I'm also very happy to talk to you because you're also a writer or having similar interest.
Yeah.
So that was really a great time. And I thank everyone who made this happen.
Thank you so much. Go and read this book and enjoy it. Thank you.